Hello again, Lockpicking Paul here, and what I've got tonight is number 88, Spike Milligan by Tinnie, or Beer Can Bushcraft. And he has designated me first pick of his brand new CL. And yeah, this has got some game. You don't get to 88 challenge locks without changing things up a bit. And this really does have a lot going on. The entire plug, all six chambers are threaded. The all of the pins, all of the key pins are serrated with your odd overset trap in there for good luck, which I have fallen into. The driver pins are all his floating wafer spools, which are kind of like rattlesnake pins, but really thin, catchy discs. And then the spools themselves have very thin, sharp edges, and they dig into that threading. It produces wild false sets, which then jam up or lock up on anything but the lightest of tensions. And I have now done the pick and gut in this, and one of the things I didn't notice when I was doing the gutting, but did notice on the reassembly, is that the actual Bible itself is all threaded as well. So that does add to the challenge with this lock. So, in the true sense of the word, Spike Milligan, the source of this, if you're not familiar with who Spike is, Spike was a bit of a surrealist comedian from 50s through to the sort of 2000s, I think, in the UK. This is quite mad, this lock, and kind of suits the name. So, I'm going to cue up the video now. Watch the pick and gut. It's a bit of a long pick because this is a very challenging lock, but it is a lot of fun, and I have really enjoyed picking this lock. So I hope you get as much out of it as I did. A couple of interesting points on the video. The actual open, I have to bounce a pin out of an overset, and that gets the open. It's a really nice moment, so it's just worth pointing that out, I think. Anyway, here's a video. Enjoy. Okay, let's see if we can get this open. The plug indicates 6 pins. If you look at the key, it looks like we've got 5 pins with a max left in 1. But I think there is a pin sitting on the nose of this lock. Interesting. So let's see, let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we've got 6 pins. Okay, much deeper false set and deeper still, so it keeps dropping into an increasingly deeper false set just from very light taps. Oh yeah, we got that. Very, very shy counter rotation. Right, so we're in a very deep false. Which we have now lost. And got back. There's a bit of yo-yo going on here. Lost it on another pin. Oh, that swung so wildly there, I just wonder if I'd gone open. Good counter rotation, that. Back into that very deep false. A little bit deeper. And deeper still. In fact, that's so deep, it's a bit like a trench. Okay, so that was a good counter rotation. That felt really good. Yeah, that felt good. Right, 1 feels set. 2 feels set. 3. 3 is giving counter rotation, which I think is now set. 4, a little bit of core movement, but no counter rotation. Yeah, what am I going to do with this? Lighten the tension right up. I feel like a set on that pin. It was an overset. He does like his overset traps. There we go. Blimey. I'm going to be really interested to see what's inside this, because I just had to bounce that pin and it popped up and the lock opened. He's getting devious in his old age. Let's have a look. I'll tell you what though, the feedback makes that an absolute joy to pick. Right, let's change the focus. We'll lock it back up and use a key. I'll tell you what, Spike Milligan is a pretty apt name for this lock. It's quite a surreal pick. Yeah, let's get a shim. That's tight. That is too tight. Okay, I've got a smaller. Let's try this follow up. Okay, so that core is marginally smaller than a regular core. Right, okay. How about that? That's a lot of threading. Doesn't really come across as being very threaded. It's a weird pick. Oh, yeah, okay. I see the overset traps. And indeed, it is a 6-pin. I'm going to cut my finger. Right, yeah, look at that. That is deep threading. That's not very sporting, Tinnie. Right, let's see what's inside this. Ah, fabled Tinnie rattlesnakes. I have to show you these because these are works of art. It makes them from a single piece. So very thin, sharp rattlesnakes that gets caught in that threading, but it behaves like a spool because it basically is a spool. Fantastic pins though. Must be a ton of work to make those. And I'm going to take the springs out because the springs are getting caught in these pins. And we don't want a gutting disaster. Pretty powerful springs in these actually. They're really pushing them at you can see why it's a relatively long pick. When you see these pins, they are something else. So all of the key pins are all variously serrated, and one or two of them, are overset traps, which I did fall into on more than one occasion. Got a steel spring in 4 by the looks of things. I'll get that out in a minute. That was smaller than the last pin. The last pin's a copper one. Yeah, the steel spring in 4 changes the spring rate. Is that last? No, the last spring is still in there. Ooh, don't run away from me. Right, look at these. These pins are something else. Got to show these. Right. Not too much light. All rattlesnake pins. Or, I don't know, if you call them biscuits or something. They are sharp. So no wonder we played ping pong with this thing. Ping pong, a confusing game of ping pong. Surreal even. Right, there you go. That is Spike Milligan, number 88. You're getting devious, mate. Nice one. Cheers.